it's just the fact of being a public servant. I think it comes. I think the power of the government, like it becomes the power with it of being able to make real change. Now.
But wait, let me just say this before you remember what you're about to
Yeah,
go
because
to.
I ain't gonna forget.
But what I was going to say was, I don't know about being able to make real change, because I think you may be able to be more effective outside of government, because there's so much red tape. You know what I'm saying? There's so many bargaining chips. You know what I mean? Like, you may have all these great ideas, and there's this video of President Obama that's circulating again now, where he was at a rally. I think this was before he even became president. And he was at a rally, and there were like protesters at his rally. And he said, listen, no, don't escort them out. He said, the problem is there may be things that I want to do, but you already know that there are so many twists and turns in terms of government to make those things happen. It's not just about me wanting it to happen. It has to go through different channels, and other people have to agree. So that's why when people like the Amanda Seals and other people like that who attack Kamala or whomever, it's like, she can't just push it through just because she wants to push it through. There are other people who have to agree with it.
Yeah. I think he was either president or maybe it was a re-election. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
But he said he was being heckled, and he said, no. Let those young people have their say, they whatever. And he just answered them like a boss. But the real contrast to me was, he said these people should have their say, and because of his wisdom and just his quickness, he he stopped them in their tracks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just quailed the situation. That Donald Trump can't do that.
No.
Throw him out. Get him out here. They're the liberals stupid. Get him out of here. Kick him out. And it's like, every time I hear Barack, I'm like, or I see him, I'm like, damn, there's a fucking president. There is a president right there. It's not all of this nasty. Every time Donald Trump talks, it sounds like he's vomiting.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you who I can't stand to hear to talk is that RFK.
Oh God.
That is awful.
But he's got the thing right with the muscles.
I don't give a fuck.
But Don, I have like a lot of arguments with friends of mine.
Yes, Maddie.
With my straight friends who are black men who say, well, I gotta say that the Democrats done sat around for this long period of time and haven't done nothing. Donald Trump done came here and got shit done. And I'm like, to fight against what you're saying, they're doing things that are against the Constitution. And so if you're saying that the Democrats done sat around all this time and they haven't done anything, like, these people are going completely against it. Like, the Constitution over there, okay, I don't give a fuck about that. Mm-hmm. So for people to say, well, this is a president that's getting things done, but they're doing things that are against the Constitution.
Yeah.
Yes.
The bedrock.
So we're breaking norms, and they're actually breaking rules, and they may be breaking laws, and they are breaking laws, because that's why judges stop them, and that's why judges are saying that they can't do some of these things. But Maddie, if I can give you some advice, I think a better answer for your friends is, what do you mean? What are they doing? Give me some examples.
Right.
And if they say the economy is good, I've said, well, no, but look at in August, there was a negative 30,000 jobs added to the economy. Inflation is at its highest that it's been in 3 years. Grocery store prices grocery store prices are higher than they've been in 3 years. So what are you talking about? What exactly has he done that has improved your life?
Right.
He's trying to take away your health care. The government is not open. You're having to spend longer times in long lines to get on airplanes. Some of the airports are in chaos because they don't have enough people to work, enough air traffic controllers. Our skies are not as safe. So what the fuck are you talking about? Give me a concrete, specific example about how Donald Trump has improved your life, and then maybe I'll buy into what you're saying.
Speaking of airports or flying in and all that stuff not being safe, you're traveling all around the country. Are you nervous now about flying?
Yeah, but look, I have a very healthy respect for the air. I'm not a real comfortable flyer. I fly a lot, but I'm not real comfortable. flying because I just don't think it's natural, right? Humans are not supposed to fly.
I
Otherwise,
agree.
God would have given us wings.
Girl,
So,
you
but
be in
when
every place.
I know.
Girl.
I know.
That girl be in
Listen,
every motherfucking country.
No,
Bitch, you just
every
got back from
motherfucking
goddamn.
where.
My daughter was in Italy.
Bitch,
My daughter was in Italy. Oh my God.
What is he
The
talking
bitch was
about?
just in
When is
Italy.
he scared of
What
the
are you
air?
talking
The
about,
only thing
bro?
that's scared of the air is your legs.
listen. I know, right?
girls, stop it. You're both pretty, okay? Stop it.
I know I fly a lot, but I'm like you. I'm still very nervous to fly. I just still do it anyway because I just believe that what's meant to be will be. But
That's how
I'm
I
just
feel.
curious.
I don't really like it, but I'll do it, and that's why I fly first class. If I'm gonna go, I'm gonna,
Correct.
I'm gonna have a cocktail in my hand.
Here we go.
I ain't
Here we
going
go.
past row 6.
Listen,
We're not going past row
we,
6.
listen. We fly first class too.
And
But I'm gonna tell you something.
And
I
she
saw.
put her daughter in 8.
I told her recently. I said, but I saw like a report or a statistic that said when you fly first class, you're less likely to survive a plane crash.
Well,
Yeah,
girl,
because
listen.
it takes the biggest impact. But I will tell you though, there were no first class seats available, so I will be in the selfie crowd in the back with people saying, "Can I get a selfie? Oh my God!"
No, you got no. Get off that plane
Oh my
immediately.
God, she will
Get off of
change-
that plane.
she will
I will
change-
change flights. And here's the thing. I need you to understand. If I go in first class, I'm letting y'all know. Oh, God is handsome, child. You see him in a minute. Right. I got here first. I got here first, girl. You should have bought a first class ticket. Now you're on your way to hell. I saw God first, girl.
But Maddie,
Bye,
you know
girl.
what's next? You know what's next?
What?
That you won't have to fly first class. You can just go on your own. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm not with that.
Private.
Like people being able to fly by themselves. You mean?
No, I mean private.
Private.
Oh,
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Yeah,
Yeah, we accept that. We accept that.
we receive it.
We receive that.
I
But
received that.
Don, listen. I want to ask you. I was going to call you the other day and say, "Bitch, how do you
What were
feel?"
you gonna say?
Bitch,
One more time.
bitch. How do you feel about these girls that are having all of this conversation around Kamala, and they were some of the main girls giving people the notion like that
she was questionable as a candidate.
she was like what the fuck.
Well, now what you mean? Which girls?
The girls, I'm gonna pee. I'll let Craig say that. I'm gonna
Angelica Ross, Amanda Seals, the people who were like, well, I don't
No
really know
screen for
about her. Even they were talking about Conscious Lee. People have been
So
saying,
basically, you're talking about them criticizing
and saying that they weren't really sold on her as a candidate. Because I personally believe that.
What else did you have?
What else did you have when you had those two options? And you're saying to us and to your audience, and you have this vast or this large audience, and you're like, I don't really know about her. I personally believe you kind of helped usher in this regime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you also
Did somebody in the background just say, mm-hmm?
That was me. I feel the same way about that was me. I feel the same way about that. About people who voted for third party candidates. You fucked
There
around
you
and
go.
you found out. And I mean, you have to read the room. There's a time and a place for everything. When your choice is Donald Trump and someone else, I'm always going to take the someone else.
Right. And I'm
So-
not at all saying that if she had gotten
you
into
done?
office, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have held
Are
her
you done?
accountable and said, listen, these are the things that we need you to address. But there was a time and a
Stop
place.
texting and talking about me like I'm not here. My team is texting each other. So I'm kidding. I'm messing with you.
Who?
They're texting each other across the room. Like this, so let me tell you, I have taken over my social media team's room. I ordered my dinner in their room. I crashed their room. I started a live feed on Twitch in their room, and now I'm calling you. They're like, this motherfucker needs to leave.
You all in their room, they're
you
trying to go
visit
to
them in
sleep.
their room.
Huh?
Craig and Maddie, I don't think. Have y'all ever seen the inside of our hotel rooms when we're on the road?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No. But what about
They call
It's nice that you spend time with those people.
No, Craig, you know what?
That's why I like
It's
when
nice-
I only
it's nice
travel
that
with
you spend-
Madison
it's
because
nice
she
that you
takes
spend
care
time
of
with
us.
those people.
Craig
With
don't
those
even want to
people,
feed
Those
us.
people.
Craig, you're a mess.
I'm just
No, I love to have a family dynamic. I love to take the
Yeah.
team to dinner every night. I just think it's important to do that.
Mm.
So so
But
so
they don't want to go because they're coming back. They come back and
no
work.
no
They're
no
working.
done.
Look at all these computers that are out. They're
I
all
saw.
working.
Listen, no done. I gotta get this answer,
Yes,
and then,
ma'am.
then we're gonna be messy. But
Yeah.
and then I know you got to get out their room.
But I got a question too before.
But no done. Craig called everybody's name. For me, it was just the fact that I watched people, and then now now I'm seeing people heckling this woman, and like yeah, and she's like, I'm not the president,
Right.
I'm not the president of the United States or whatever. But the scary part was I see a lot of queer people, and it's not like that we're not supposed to be worried about what's going on between Israel and Palestine.
Mhm.
But I always think about, as a queer person, how if we were in any of those countries, they'd walk us down there to the gallows. And I'm not saying that we're not supposed to care about innocent children
And people in
and
general.
people, but if you as a queer person are advocating, and I'm not saying do not advocate for it, but you got to think about where you live, and would those people be standing up and fighting hard for your existence, and if war was being placed on you, and would they stone you in the street, would they hang you in the street for being who you are?
Well, I think I know where you're going, but I'm not exactly sure. Let me just say how I feel about this. I know there are people who say, why are you supportive of Gaza or Palestinians or Palestine because they throw people from roofs, right? If you're gay, if you're queer, lesbian, queer, transgender, whatever you want to call it. And I understand that. I believe two wrongs don't make a right, and just because there are people who are cruel, it doesn't mean that you cannot stand up for. You can't be a humane person, and that doesn't mean that you have to watch somebody else starve, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
and so I don't really categorize it that way. I understand that it's not America. America's different. I do know that Israel is one of I think it's very LGBTQ friendly. I've never been there. People are saying you should go to Tel Aviv, blah, blah, blah. It's very open. And I do
I
know
mean,
that,
we saw Caitlyn over there.
yeah,
She had her hands against the wall, saying, "Help,
yeah. Well,
help me,
But here's the thing that I would add to
help,
that.
get me
well,
out,
you
get
know.
us out of here."
The
I
thing
just
that I
don't
would,
like. I
I
just
need a
don't.
vote.
I don't like that people people compare. It's like you know, um, an oppression Olympics, right? I don't like people who compare everything to what happened to African Americans in this country. It's
yeah, yeah,
unique and it's different. And
yeah.
so, well, I don't want to see anybody die. I don't want to see anybody, in a genocide. I don't want to see innocent lives lost. I don't know if the situations are. It's not apples to apples, you
Yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah. I agree.
So, I just don't, I don't want to see any innocent children die because adults are fucking stupid or
Yeah,
bigots, right? I just don't want to see
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Um, but also there are a lot of people who believe this is not our fight. This has been happening for centuries, and it's not ours to solve. But in that, I do see there's some truth in that, but also I think you still have to have compassion for other
I
people.
agree with
I
all of
mean,
that.
I have compassion deeply.
Yeah,
I have
I
deeply,
agree with all of that.
but
My thing was I just didn't understand Americans and specifically Black people who were using their vote, who were threatening to not vote because of what was happening there. I think that you can have compassion for what's happening there, but then not to say that, well, I'm not going to vote Kamala until you tell us what you're going to do about what's happening over there. I think that you can be concerned about what's happening over there, but also exercise your right to vote here.
Yeah. Well, look, let me just tell you, I don't like what's happening in Palestine. And I look at when it happened, or in Gaza, when they announced this sort of ceasefire or peace deal or whatever it was, I was on my show and I had up the different pictures live and you looked at Israel and people were cheering and it would look, like a normal state or whatever. And then the picture of Gaza came up and it looks like a war zone. It looks like a homeless encampment.
Mhm.
These beautiful places where there were these places where there was once beauty and buildings and people. There were people who were being pushed in wheelchairs. They were walking on dusty roads. The houses were made of cloth or fabric, where there had once stood beautiful buildings. The response has been, it's been an over, it's been they've over responded to this,
Yeah.
and look, it's time for it to end. I just hope that the people in Gaza actually get something out of it, and that all of it is not weighted towards Israel,
Yeah.
because Israel is rich. They've got money. They've got an infrastructure. They've got a government. They've got all those things. Gaza has none of that anymore.
Mhm.
Gaza doesn't have, as my mom would say when we were growing up, a pot to piss in and a hole to pour it out of, or a
Right.
window to throw it out of. They don't have anything, and so I hope that they keep their promises, and I hope that there are things built into this agreement that is going to build Gaza back up. And I don't mean to be the Riviera of the Middle East, and for Trump and all of his acolytes to come in and build hotels and resorts, that it's built up into a place that is respectful and respectable of the people who live there and who deserve that land.
Right. No, I agree with that.
Hi, help me. I'm on the wall.
Shut up.
Don, I
Help.
do have a question for you before you go.
Yeah.
Um, with all this happening in this country, I think what's happening in this country, with respect to race relations, as also political parties, it's just a microcosm, if you will, of what's happening around the world. Because we
What's the
see
word, Craig?
microcosm of what's happening around the world. Because we also see what's happening in parts of Africa, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to those 14 African countries that are no longer sending a percentage of their annual revenue to France, right? But like what's happening here is kind of happening around the world.